Everyone's trying to force life to go their way. He discovered that life already has a way, and fighting it is what destroys you. Chang Tu, an ancient Chinese philosopher who watched people exhaust themselves trying to control everything, trying to make things happen, trying to bend reality to their will. And he saw that all that effort was making them miserable, because life has a natural flow, a rhythm, a way things want to go, and when you flow with it, everything becomes easy. But when you fight it, everything becomes struggle. The question is whether you're smart enough to stop fighting and start flowing. So let's go back. About 2400 years ago, ancient China. Society is obsessed with control, with order, with making things perfect. Confucius is teaching people about duty and discipline and doing things the proper way. Everyone's stressed, trying to live correctly. And right in the middle of all this control is Chang Tzu, watching, laughing, because he sees something everyone else is missing. All this effort to control life is what's making life hard. All this trying to force things to be perfect is what's creating suffering. He sees a cook cutting meat effortlessly. The knife flows through, never hits bone, never gets stuck. And he asks the cook how. And the cook says, "I don't fight the meat. I find where it naturally wants to separate. I follow the spaces that are already there. So there's no resistance, no effort, just flow." That's the lesson. Life has natural spaces, natural openings, natural ways things want to go. And if you can see them, if you can follow them, everything becomes effortless. But if you try to force your way through, if you fight against the natural grain, you exhaust yourself for nothing. Chang Tzu watches water. It doesn't fight. It doesn't force. It just flows. Finds the path of least resistance. Goes around obstacles instead of through them. Takes the shape of whatever contains it. And because it doesn't resist, it's unstoppable. It can wear down mountains. But not through force, through flow. And he realizes that's how life works. That's how everything works. There's a natural way things want to happen. A Tao, a path, and when you fight it, when you resist it, when you try to make it go your way instead, you create all your own suffering. He sees people trying to control outcomes, forcing relationships, forcing careers, forcing happiness. And they're miserable, exhausted, stressed, because they're swimming against the current. And no matter how hard you swim, the current is stronger. But he also sees people who flow, who move with life instead of against it, who adapt instead of resist, who let things unfold instead of forcing them. And they're at peace. Not because their lives are perfect, but because they're not fighting reality every step of the way. Chang Tzu tells a story. There's a tree that's ugly and crooked. So ugly that no carpenter will cut it down. And because nobody cuts it down, it lives for hundreds of years. All the beautiful straight trees get cut and used. But the useless tree survives. The lesson: sometimes what looks like failure is actually freedom. Sometimes what looks like a setback is actually protection. Sometimes losing is winning. But only if you stop fighting what is and start seeing the natural wisdom in how things unfold. Most people can't do this. They have a plan, a vision, a way they think things should be. And when reality doesn't match their plan, they fight, they resist, they try to force it, and they suffer. Not because reality is wrong, but because they're fighting reality. Chang Tzu says, stop. Stop fighting. Stop forcing. Stop trying to make life go your way. Life already has a way, and it's smarter than you, more powerful than you, more aware of all the variables than you'll ever be. So, instead of fighting it, flow with it, trust it, let it unfold. He said, the perfect man uses his mind like a mirror. It grasps nothing. It refuses nothing. It receives but does not keep. What does that mean? It means don't cling. Don't resist. Don't try to keep things that want to leave, or push away things that want to come. Just be like a mirror. Reflect what's there. Respond to what's happening. But don't fight the flow of what comes and goes. Someone enters your life. Don't cling to them. Enjoy them while they're here. But if they want to leave, let them flow out. Something good happens. Don't try to make it permanent. Appreciate it while it lasts. But when it ends, let it flow away. Something bad happens. Don't resist it. Don't fight it. Experience it. Learn from it. Let it flow through. That's living in harmony with the way, not controlling, not grasping, not resisting, just flowing. Just being present with whatever is without trying to make it different. Now here's where people get confused. They think flowing means being passive, giving up, letting life happen to you. But that's not what Chuang-Tzu is teaching. He's teaching strategic action, effortless effort, doing what needs to be done in harmony with how things naturally want to go. Think about sailing. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails to work with whatever wind is blowing. That's not passive, that's skillful. You're acting, but you're acting in harmony with what is, instead of fighting what is. Or think about martial arts. The best fighters don't fight against their opponent's energy. They flow with it, redirect it, use it. If someone pushes, they pull. If someone pulls, they push. They're not passive, but they're not resisting either. They're flowing with the natural movement and using it. That's what Chuang-Tzu is teaching. Not passivity, but harmony. Not giving up, but giving in to reality so you can work with it instead of against it. Now let's bring this to your life. Because you're fighting. Right now, you're resisting. You're trying to force things, and it's exhausting you. Think about your career. You probably have a specific idea of how it should go. The timeline, the path, the achievements. And when reality doesn't match that plan, you stress, you fight, you try to force it. You make yourself miserable trying to control outcomes you can't control. Chuang-Tzu would say, stop. Look at what's actually happening. Not what should be happening, what actually is. Maybe there's an opportunity you're missing because you're too focused on your plan. Maybe there's a better path you can't see because you're forcing the wrong path. Maybe reality is trying to take you somewhere better, but you're fighting it. Flow with what's actually happening. Adapt to reality instead of demanding reality adapt to you. Adjust your sails to the wind that's actually blowing instead of wishing for different wind. Or think about relationships. You're probably trying to control how people act, how they treat you, how they should be. And when they're not who you want them to be, you fight. You try to change them. You resist who they actually are. Chuang-Tzu would say, stop. People are who they are. You can't change them. You can only flow with them, or flow away from them. If someone's behavior doesn't work for you, don't fight it. Don't try to fix them, just flow out of that relationship. But if you stay, accept them. Flow with who they actually are, instead of resisting and wishing they were different. Here's another one. Things aren't going the way you planned. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe a relationship ended. Maybe something you were counting on fell through, and you're devastated, fighting, resisting, demanding that reality undo itself and give you what you wanted. Chuang-Tzu would say, stop fighting. What happened, happened. Fighting it doesn't change it. It just makes you suffer more. Instead, flow with it. Ask yourself, now that this is what is, what's the best response? What opportunity might be hidden here? Where is reality trying to take me? Because reality always has a direction, a flow, a way things are moving. And you can fight that flow and exhaust yourself, or you can flow with it and see where it takes you. And often, where it takes you is better than where you are trying to force yourself to go. This doesn't mean accept bad treatment, doesn't mean never set boundaries, doesn't mean let people walk over you. It means stop trying to control what you can't control. Stop resisting what already is. Stop fighting the current and exhausting yourself when you could be using that energy to flow skillfully with whatever is actually happening. Chuang Tzu lived this completely. He was offered high positions, power, status, and he turned them all down. Not because he was lazy, but because he could see that accepting them would mean fighting against his natural way, swimming upstream. And he valued flow over status, peace over power, harmony over achievement. People thought he was wasting his potential, but he was at peace. While everyone else stressed about their positions and possessions and status, he flowed. He adapted. He moved with life instead of against it. And he was free in ways they could never be, because they were too busy fighting. He said the perfect man flows through life like water. No fixed form, no resistance, just constant adaptation to whatever shape reality takes. And that's not weakness. That's the ultimate strength. Because you can't break what has no fixed form. You can't defeat what doesn't resist. Most people will never understand this. They'll keep fighting, keep forcing, keep trying to make life go their way. And they'll exhaust themselves, burn out, wonder why everything is so hard, never realizing that the hardness isn't life. It's their resistance to life. But you can be different. You can learn what Chuang Tzu learned, that life has a way, a flow, a natural direction, and your job isn't to fight it. Your job is to see it, feel it, flow with it. And when you do that, when you stop resisting and start harmonizing, everything becomes easier. Not perfect, not without challenges, but easier. Because you're working with reality instead of against it. Moving with the current instead of fighting it. Flowing with the way instead of forcing your way. That's the secret. That's the wisdom. That's what Chuang Tzu discovered and lived and taught. And it's still true, still available, still waiting for anyone tired enough of fighting to finally try flowing. Subscribe for more ancient truths that free you from unnecessary struggle.